any kind of drawing or garment that's basically symmetrical, we do most of it and then flip, and then there's usually some minor differences in trench coats in that, like, there may be this weird little epaulette thing that happens over here that Crocodile Dundee had. I mean, there's not that much of a difference, but I will draw you a coat right now. Okay, this is very similar to our blazer, except that coats will button higher. So I'll probably put this more up here, and I'll probably make this a double-breasted. So I'll move over, like my center front is here. But with the double-breasted garment, you have 2 rows of buttons, and so the whole thing moves over farther, like over to there. Okay. Boom, boom. So rather than tuck in at the waist, I'm probably just going to go straight down on this. Take it to maybe here, and then wait for that little line to show up that says I'm underneath that point above, and then close that shape. Do I have and a white arrow, grab that in here, Control C, Control F, Control J, and while I'm here, I'm going to turn off that pointy edge of the stroke, which I don't like. So I'm going to head over here to my stroke and go 1, 2. All right, so that should give me a nice perfect edge. Good. Then I'm going to add my 2 points. White arrow, and pull, not the whole thing, pull between those 2 points. Why is it not working? White arrow, that's why. There we go. And create my sleeve that way. Okay, so here is a design point to think about, the cuff. So some trench coats will go right to the cuff. Some have a weird little belty thing that goes here. That is a design choice up to you. So you're going to have to go on to WGSN or go look at Burberry, because they're like absolute, the major, if I was going to think of any brand that has great trench coats, they would be the ones. And I forgot to curve that point in there. Uh-oh. I'm going to have to figure that one out. What am I going to do? Can I curve both at once? I don't think that I can. Okay. I'm going to show you quickly a new technique we haven't done yet. Okay, so if you do what I do, and I've accidentally not curved the line like here, see how that's still crazy pointy? What you can do is you can white arrow and select specific lines in your drawing with the white arrow. So you click on them and then delete. And then the second one, again, I'm going to click. I don't want to do the whole thing. Click away, click on, again, white arrow. And I want to get rid of just that one. So this is now wide open. There, I've deleted those lines. As you can see, if I go to view outline, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to white arrow. Actually, no, sorry, curve that line here. So I have a nice shape there. Then I'm going to select, oops, it's a little farther out so I can get at it. Because what I want to do is with the white arrow, select just this curve in here and then join it back to my original drawing. So I'm going to marquee that point, and if you, hopefully this works, but if you click on that point, do not click the top one, do not click the bottom one, just that point will give you the curve. So let's see if that works. Control C, Control V. Yes, it worked. Okay. So now I have this shape, which is that line. I'm going to pull it into place. And I'm going to turn off the fill so I can see what I'm working with. Come on, Illustrator, work with me here. There we go. All right. That's not perfectly lining up. It should. I may have an extra point down here. Not the end of the world. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to join the top. White arrow marquee. Control J. So I'm going to join. And then I'm going to actually move. That's so weird. I must have an extra point down. Anyway, I'm going to move this point out. Again, I'm going to marquee, join those, Control J. So I have a closed shape, which I will now fill with black arrow, select everything, fill it with white. Why are you not filling? All right, here's my eyedropper. When in doubt, there we go. Okay, so we now have the shape and the sleeve. I'm going to move that back in. I know it's exact because I copied it. All right. I'm going to add one more point shoulder to give it some room. I'm going to put a curve on it. Careful of things like this. Make sure that you get those right snug up to each other because you'll accidentally make lines that look really thick and large otherwise. So they should be right up flush up against each other, which that looks pretty good. Okay. So I'm going to do the neckline. Now I'm just going to grab a picture of a trench coat to work from. Bear with me. Okay, let's see if that worked. It did not. Okay, give me 2 more seconds. Whoa. Let's not do that. Undo place. Let's try again. Round 2, file, place. Here he is. Okay. So I'm going to make him much smaller. Let's see what 25% looks like. Okay, so get a style that you like, and then draw in all the details on your drawing. So I'm going to look at his collar up there. And put that on here. Okay, so same as our blazer, you do a collar in 2 pieces. I'm missing a stroke on my line, I can already tell. There we go. And then I'm going to see, this has got quite a wide lapel on it, as you can see. I'm also going to move this point down before I draw the other part, because I can see this is already higher than I want it to be. So you can white arrow and start moving around individual points. Ooh. There we go. White arrow, click on the points there. I'm going to move that down more to about there. And then I will also move this point down accordingly. There we go. And I'm going to draw 1, 2. Take it right to that point there, and then close shape. So the same as we did with our blazer, you now have 2 shapes which give you the collar of your trench coat. Looks like he's got a nice patch pocket down there, so I will put that on here because I will be able to flip that. Pencil. Okay, so you want to get as much done of the symmetrical stuff on one side, so you basically don't have to do things twice. So I'm going to flip them. We can work on some of the other details. Okay, so copy. And he is going to be left over right. Right? Yes. Which this is, so we're good. So I don't have to adjust any of that stuff. Don't forget to put that little diamondy shape behind. Maybe I'll move this over a little bit. Careful what you're selecting. 1, hold shift, 2, hold shift, hold shift. When you are selecting multiple objects and you cannot marquee easily, you can always just click, 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 hold shift to select the shapes you need without clicking what's underneath. I'm going to move that a little bit over. Good. Then I'll move the whole thing over on his body bits. Maybe a little bit down. There we go. Okay. Now I put in the diamond shape at the back. This allows you to fill it so you don't have blank space behind there. Object, arrange. Where's my range on here? There we go. Send to back. Good. Do not forget to do that little line across the back here. Sorry, my tablet is doing strange things with my shapes here. There we go. White arrow. Move that one down. Much better. And a line from here to here. And the line should not be filled because you'll end up with that, no, not, thank you, that little cutout there that you don't want. Okay, as always, be careful of things like this. If when you're shifting things around, points move up or down, clean them up so everything is nice and smooth at all of the transition areas on the drawing. Okay. Okay, so you'd put in buttons. The only other tricky thing is trench coats have stuff like, do you see this? I don't actually know what it's for, but they have this other extra thing, and I don't even know what the name of it. Maybe one of you can research and tell me for next week. But in terms of your drawing, what they look like is something like this. Could maybe put a curve on it, and then it sews into the, oops, I don't want that much of a curve. It sews right into the armhole seam. A lot of this stuff comes from military clothing originally, so there may have been some important reason for that that is just no longer a thing anymore. It's no longer necessary. Okay, I'm going to see if I can put a curve on this. What about you? There we go. Let's go clean that up. This is when your little handlebars come in very handy. There we go. And there we go. Much better. Let's see if I can get rid of that bump while I'm up here. Good. Okay, then you start going in with the top stitch. So on something like this, it would go all along inside there would be your top stitching. On something like this, it would follow that line. So if you have a line that's quite similar to a stitching line, you can always Control C, Control V. Oops. Make sure you got the whole line. Black arrow. Control C, Control V. Good. Get out of selection mode. Turn off the fill, and then adjust the stroke to create your, oops, dashed line here. So I'm going to do a 2 and 2 like we have done. 2 and 2. You can see that's now stitching, and then you can put that into place. Just adjust the two edges. Okay, I'll probably move that a little closer. Like that. Good. And then I will white arrow the edge points. So that it's nice and right into those edges there. Okay, so same as before, you would, once you've got the front done, you select everything. You use Pathfinder. Let's see if it's going to work with this one. Bum, 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 bum. Window Pathfinder. I'm going to use Outline, which is the first one. They're calling Unite. Actually, I want to have 2 of these. There we go. So I don't mess up my original. And looking good. Where is my switches? There we go. Good. I've got some random extra line because of that layering, but you can go in with the white arrow, get rid of your points. Oops, not all of them, just the extra ones. And I'm pretty sure I have this whole thing with my stitching outline, which I definitely don't want. Okay, good. And then turn off your dash line. You have the back of it. Right? And you would then go in and draw in things like this like rain hoodie thing at the back. You could put in the belts. This one has a double vent on it with buttons, and it's got epaulets on the shoulders. So you would add that in as well. That is the base.